Shalom.
Shalom.
I want to start off as always by giving all praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS and honors you brothers doing the work in truth, war, sincerity.
Right.
My brother Russ is our month, GMSLondonCentral.
His brother Napash.
And so we're going to get into a topic real quick. So I'll get you the first scripture, brother. This is Proverbs 30:21. It says, For three things the earth is disquieted, and for four which it cannot bear. For a servant when he reigneth, and a fool when he is filled with meat.
So the scriptures say that if you read that again out, by the earth being disquieted.
Yeah, it says, for three things the earth is disquieted, and for four which it cannot bear. For a servant when he reigneth, right, and a fool when he is filled with meat.
Right. So right now, man, we got a fool and we got a servant that's ruling upon the earth, right? Okay. Known as in the Bible, the lineage of that fool, that servant, is known as Esau. Okay, Edom. Okay, and he's right now ruling over the earth. We're in the kingdom of Esau right now, and the earth is disquieted because of it, man. Okay, the animals are disquieted, the people are disquieted. The earth, there's eruptions everywhere. There's there's earthquakes everywhere, and that's because this man was not set up for rulership. This man was built to be what? To basically be a servant, man. And ultimately to be destroyed. Pursuant to Obadiah, the first chapter. That's prophecy.
Yeah, go a precept when you're ready.
And in fact, all these heathen nations outside of the nation of Israel were all set up to serve Israel, man. Israel are meant to be the kings and the judges and the princes upon the earth, man. And that's what Israel means. It means he, the Prince of Power, Yasha Allah.
Yeah. This is Matthew 24:22, and the point that you made about mourning. It says Matthew 24:22 says, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sakes, those days shall be shortened. His brother was going into the fact that even the animals are mourning, right? And you look at what's happening with the with the sea life, the marine life, with people in general. Things are dying off. Right? If this man is allowed to continue forever, right? This whole place will be through.
Yep.
Right.
And the scriptures say that the earth abideth forever.
Yeah.
The Lord ain't gonna allow that, man, because it says it in the scriptures that the Lord's gonna give this devil a season to rule, and that's what's happened. Yeah. And mainly as a fulfillment of prophecy, fulfillment of His word, but to punish the true judges and rulers of the earth.
That's right.
Which are the Israelites that have gone off against the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Yahushai, man, the Most High and His Son, man.
Yeah, that's
right. The Most High, man, through His Son,
Yeah, that's right. So like I was gonna say, because you said at the short season, you read Revelation, right? It says Esau's gonna be, it says he shall be loosed a little season. Right. So he was loosed a little season. He's out here. He's doing all manner of madness. Well, you really think about it, since since the beginning of the Renaissance, it's been ruling a couple hundred years. But these times, Israel going to be ruling for eternity.
That's right.
So hey.
Karen, if you could roll up Ecclesiastes 10 out.
This is Ecclesiastes 10:6. It says, folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place. All right.
Because right now there's folly upon the earth, man. Okay. And it's set in great dignity. This is a proud man that's ruling over the earth, man. This guy is a servant that's reigning over the earth, and he's basically being proud, man. He's out of position. He's been put in that position first and foremost, but he's really not built for it.
Yeah, he ain't made like that, man.
That's right, and you can just observe that when you might be working for Esau and the so-called white man. You might be working for him in the workplace or whatever, and your manager might be an Edomite. And everything this guy's doing is completely wrong, man. Yeah. You're just thinking, man, does this guy even know how to run shit? You know what I mean? They don't know what the fuck they're doing, man.
The corporate world shows that really it's Jake that builds his kingdom. Because in the corporate world, who gets the credit? Let's say you work for Dining & Co, right? You lot make, Italian bedroom lounge, what'd you call it? Dining room furniture, stuff like that, right? Imagine that's your company business, and then they've got something that isn't working quite right. A business flow isn't working. The business isn't making efficient money. Jake comes along and says, why don't you do it this way? They cut costs in half, this, that, and the other. That Jake will never get the credit. right? But that was an integral change to the business, right? Because Jake will see certain shit that Esau does because he's not built that way, and it's like, why are you doing it that way? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
And that's the history of Jake in this kingdom.
Yeah. You know, and just for the brothers that are watching, you know, might not know what we're referring to as Jake. We're referring to Israel in the scriptures, man.
Yeah.
Okay, Jake short for Jacob. You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Yeah.
Okay, and anyone else that descends back to the man called Jacob through the lineage of their fathers. That's who we're talking about, man.
Yeah.
And you're the people that have built up this kingdom, and you're also the people that are slaves right now, man. Okay, you're slaves, but you're meant to be the rulers.
Yeah.
You know, and you've got this person who's meant to be a slave under you, ruling over you.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why that's part of why the earth is being disquieted, man.
Yeah.
We could read Ecclesiastes, Bobby Shaw.
Yeah. So from the top again.
Can.
This is Ecclesiastes 10:6 says, "Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place."
That's right, man. So that's, you know, the rich sit in low place. So who's the rich, man? We're gonna get into that in a bit, man. Because right now the true rich are in a low place. Keep going up.
Yep. It says, "I have seen servants upon horses,
Right.
and princes walking as servants upon the earth."
Right, man. So there's servants upon horses. Who's that? Now, horse represents power. So in the position of power right now, Esau's got that, man, and he is the servant, man. And then it says what? Princes what?
Yeah, and princes walking as servants upon the
So
earth.
we just referenced earlier that what Israel means princes of the Most High, princes of the power, man. So the true princes, the true rulers, okay, the royal lineage, the royal people are right now in servitude, man.
That's right.
You know. Okay, if we can jump to Revelation 2, because it said rich sit in royal place, right? Let's get into that.
This is Revelations 2:9 says, "I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich."
Right, so it says, "I know thy works and the tribulation and poverty," man. That's talking about what? It's talking about Israelites, man. But it says, "But thou art rich."
Yeah.
It says what? The rich sit in low place. Yeah. If you can get James 2:5 quickly, Bob Shaw, we'll come back to that.
This is James 2:5 says, "Hearken, my beloved brethren, hath not the Most High chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith and heirs of the kingdom, which he hath promised to them that love him."
That's right. So who's the ones that love the Most High? Who's the ones that are heirs of the kingdom, man? Right now, specifically, the elect of the nation of Israel. But what did it say? Rich in faith. Because we have faith in the kingdom to come, man. And the Lord has given that. It's a gift, Ephesians 2:8. Now that faith is what makes us rich. We don't have faith in this society because we know it's going to go down according to prophecy, man. You getting a precept?
Yeah, it's going real quick.
So there you go, man. This thing is also mainly about faith, man. Okay, they call us faith-based Israelites, but hey, that means that we're rich.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, go on.
This is Proverbs 8:11. "For wisdom is better than rubies." Right? And let's be real, people can be like, "Oh, my diamond ring, oh, look at my diamond." Like, we've all seen diamonds. We've all seen gold. We've all seen silver. How many of us have seen rubies like that? Right? So rubies are one of them precious stones. You know, I'm not saying, you know, but it says wisdom is better than that. Right? It says, and it goes on to say, "And all things that may be desired are not to be compared to it." So think of that thing that you outside of the truth. Think of that one thing that you really, really want. Wisdom is better than that.
Yeah.
Right?
Because all the gold, all the silver, all the rubies, all the precious things are not going to be worth anything in that day of Jacob's trouble. What's going to be keeping you stable in that time is the knowledge and the wisdom.
Bro, that's one I was thinking as well. So knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of that times. Right? Not Jaguars and Land Rovers. And you know, even the little things in life, not food and water, right? Because there's going to be a real famine in this world, right? With scriptures do say in Isaiah 65:13 that my servants shall eat, right? So that is what is promised, right, to the man. But that's, you know, how do you become a servant, right? Or what would you call it, of the Lord? You basically have to get these scriptures and understanding of these scriptures and have the faith to not fold. What's that one where you lose? What you're trying to maintain, but then you give up. But you give up. Yeah, not someone who's going to give up and then fold to Esau and be like, "Look, man, just give me the chip, man."
Okay. Someone's not got faith.
Yeah.
You know, if we can go back to Salaki, could you read James 2:5 again?
It's James 2:5. It says, "Hearken, my beloved brethren, hath not the Most High chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith?"
Right, so we're the poor of this world right now. Jacob living in poverty, man. Okay, what did it say in? Let's go back to rich in faith, right? Let's go back to Revelation 2:9.
Revelations 2:9 says, "I know thy works and tribulation and poverty."
I know thy works, the tribulation and poverty, man.
Yeah.
We're in a poor state. Jake is all through, man. You tribes are through.
Yeah.
You know, we're at the lowest state. We're actually slaves in this man's kingdom, serving him, man.
Yeah.
Okay, but what does the scripture say? It says that he's actually our servant.
Yeah.
We're the ones that should be ruling the earth, man. And that's how it's going to be in the kingdom of heaven. That's what's to come when Yahushua returns, man. Okay, which is the real name of the so-called Jesus Christ, the Messiah, man. You know, the Son of the Most High, man. The Son of Yahweh. Okay, our Lord, our King, the King of Kings, man. You know.
Yeah.
If you get the what was it Romans or what was it
Before.
No, just get the Bible show Matthews. That's it.
This is Matthew 6:19. It says, "Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt."
Yeah, because we were talking about the treasures of this world, you know, the gold and this and that, which all that's going to get translated, and wealth gets translated anyway. All the resources, that's going to get translated to us when we're in rulership, man.
Yeah. If I can add, scripture says in Peter, 2 Peter 3:11, if I'm remembering correctly, knowing that all these things shall be dissolved. What manner of persons ought ye to be?
In all holy conversation.
Yeah.
That's right, man. That's what we're doing right now. Holy conversation.
Bread, bro. Sentences, bro.
That's right. That's that.
The spirit, brother.
That's that Ruach Kadosh, or you know, as brother will say. What was it, man? What's the 7? Something 7?
7G.
The 7G. Oh, Salaka.
That's cool, bro.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So it's a 7G, man. You know, also known as the Ruach Kadosh, the Holy Spirit, man.
That's right.
You know. Yeah, Baruch Shah. So yeah, it says, "Lay not up for yourselves the treasures
upon earth."
Upon earth, where what? Rich
moth and rust doth corrupt.
That's right. So these, you know, you're going to be laying up all these treasures, but that's not going to be worth nothing in that day, man. All right, keep going up.
Yep. It says, "And where thieves break through and steal."
Right.
Yeah, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt.
And what does it take to lay up treasures in heaven? Faith. You know, to build up that spiritual bank account, man. You know, Jake always talk about stacking. Well, you know, we're spiritually stacking, man.
Yeah.
You know, going out in the highways and byways.
When I get that $2,000.
That's right. Wait, when I get that $2,000, you know, you got to think of it like, hey, man, I'm building up that spiritual bank account, man. You know,
it was speaking on it before we started recording, right? You know about how, because you know it's cold, it's getting cold now, and you know you see construction workers holding the cold metal, you know, working with it, banging it, whatever, what have you, and then you can see, you know, you're like, man, shit, that's a heavy work, that's a hard work that they're doing. But they do it, why? Because they have faith that Esau will pay them. Right? Whereas people don't want to do this work, right? Because they don't have faith that the Lord is going to pay them. They don't have faith that there's a reward for this thing. Right? Because one of the things you will have to do, pursuant to, which call it Matthew 19, right? Near at the end, around from the 28th verse, is you know, you're more than likely going to have to give up on certain things.
Yeah.
Right? You know, whether that is you physically saying, look, I ain't gonna do this, or the Lord taking someone out of what you call it, out of your life, right? Or something, someone or something out of your life. Because in that one it talks about lands and family, whatever, what have you, right? You know, so you know, sacrifice is gonna have to be made, and sacrificing takes faith, man.
Can't. And we're gonna, Scripture say, what a man reaps what he sows, man.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do that, man. Okay, we're reaping, we're doing the work, man. The laborers.
Yeah.
Right? It says, this is Proverbs 20:4. It says, the sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold. You know, brothers mentioned the cold. You know, you go out and work in the winter for Esau, but you won't work for the Lord, man. You won't come out, you know. You know, you got your summer-based Israelites, you know, ones that come out and teach only in the certain seasons, which scriptures say in season, out season. And you also got brothers that come out and only listen in the summer. Yeah. You know, it says the sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold. Therefore shall he beg in harvest and have nothing, man. So when the harvest is coming, which the harvest is coming when the Lord returns with the angels, okay, when we start into what do you do in the harvest? That's when you start to reap the benefits, the fruit of all your labor, man. Okay, and that's what we're going to get in the kingdom of heaven. Okay, that is the reward. That's part of the reward, man. The fruit of all our labors, and that's gonna happen when the Lord returns. Now, if you ain't putting no labor, then you're gonna be begging and harvesting. You ain't gonna get nothing, man. Okay, you're gonna be one of them guys that are gonna have to feel the pain on this side.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
The Romans, I believe. Yeah, the Romans.
Yeah.
9.
This is Romans 9 and 12. It says, "It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger."
Yeah, man. Just to get back on track with the servant ruling upon the earth. What does it say? The elder shall serve the younger. Now, who's the elder? You read in Genesis the 25th chapter the story of Jacob and Esau. Okay, Esau was the elder, man. But what did it say? The elder shall serve the younger. Now, what does it say? What does a servant do? A servant serves.
Yeah.
So he's a servant, man.
It's in the name.
That's right, man. So it was already ordained. It was prophesied. Okay.
Is there unrighteousness with God? Nope.
That's right, man. So hey, it was already set up, man. You know, you got the Salakia. Did you get the? Oh yeah. So if you can get me Job 9 and 24, Bob, sure.
So Job 9:24 says, "The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?" Right.
So let's break that down, man. So Malachi, the 1st chapter, will tell you who the wicked is. That's talking about Edom, man. So we're still back onto this devil, Esau. Yep. So you said you're gonna say something?
No.
Can't. So the servant right now has been given the earth into his hand, man. Okay, like we said earlier, to teach us a lesson, man. To teach the Israelites a lesson, man. Because really, we're meant to be in rulership, man. The Lord's gonna correct that. He's gonna turn upside down what these guys turn upside down. The Lord's gonna make it right, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's right, man. But what did it say in the second part? It said what?
He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
You know, iconoclasm and so on and so forth, right? He's destroyed he's destroyed basically the image of Jacob upon the earth, man. Okay, and who is the judges upon the earth, man? Well, let's get that.
Yeah.
You know,
it says 1 Corinthians 6 and 2 says, "Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world?"
Okay, so it says the saints shall judge the world, man. Okay, we're going to be the ones that are going to be judging, man, and ruling in the kingdom, man. Okay, for eternity. Yeah. Okay, we're the ones that were set up to do that. We're going to be a nation of kings and priests. And what does a king do? A king rules in judgment, man, and has servants that serve him. Okay, but you know, you might be saying, well, that's not talking about the Israelites. Well, we'll tell you who the saints are, man.
Yeah,
you know,
says,
you got to preach that up.
Psalms 148:14. It says, "He also exalteth the horners of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel.
Ooh.
The people near unto him praise ye Yahweh."
So that's right, man. So the saints are talking about Israel, man.
Got another one for you when you're ready.
Come on, bang it up.
So Psalms 50 and 5 says, "Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a sacrifice with me by those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice."
Yeah, and
who did that? Who did it?
Yeah. Who's that covenant sacrifice with? Hey, you ever heard of Moses?
Yeah.
You know, Moses from the tribe of Levi, man.
That's right.
Okay, from the nation of Israel.
That's right.
This scripture is always, the Lord is dealing with Israel, man.
God rules it.
That's right, man, and that's why Israel is called a prince of the power. Now, what is it?
Right.
If you know, what is a prince? What is a prince? A prince is what? The son of a king.
Yeah.
Right. And a prince has got a rule as well, man. But we're gonna be made into a nation of kings and priests, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna be the kings upon the earth, man. The gods, you know, power. Which God just means power. Okay, we're gonna be, yeah, that's right. We're gonna be the powers on the earth, man. Okay, what are we? Israel is Zion, man, which means what in the Hebrew in Lashon Kadash, Taziah one, which means monument. Okay, we're the monument upon the earth, man. We in the flesh we represent the Lord upon the earth, man. Okay, when these heathen are gonna be looking at Israel, they're gonna be like, you know, surely, you know.
Yeah, Isaiah 2 times, baby. Right.
So like,
That's all good. That's all good. Isaiah 2 times, man. You know, where people are gonna be, you know, flocking onto Israel, like, oh, let's hear what Israel has to say. You know, this, that, and they're trying to learn. You know, of our ways. Like, how they do it like that, huh?
Oh, if we can get Deuteronomy 4 quickly, Bob, I think it's 4 and 6. Hey, you know, these nations, man. Right, Esau's ruling right now. He's doing everything off, man. That's the wicked ruling right now. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He's completely going off and going against the scriptures, man.
Wicked.
You know? But this is what Deuteronomy 4 and 6 says about the laws that were given, statutes and commandments that were given to Israel.
It says, Deuteronomy 4 and 6, "Keep therefore and do them. For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes, and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people."
That's right. So why wouldn't you want a wise and understanding people to rule the earth, man? Okay, that's why Israel was already. We were created for rulership, man. Yeah. We weren't created to be the servants. That's our punishment.
Yeah.
That's what these proud heathens don't understand, man.
Yeah.
We'll come out on the highways and byways. Look, man, we're not begging you for nothing. We're telling you just what the prophecies are, man. We're telling you that the Most High has already ordained us to rule over you, that you're servants to us.
Yeah.
You ain't nothing, and you can really observe that in your day-to-day. When you really observe these heathens, man, they will not set up to do anything, man. Jake is the one that thrives. Jake is the one that comes up with the ideas, that boosts things, that has the strength, that has the wisdom, man. You know, Jake is the one that really adds to society. Without Jake, this earth would have no salt, man. It would have no flavor, man.
Yeah.
You know, it would have nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, it would be, you know, Salaki was gonna say, hey, the Lord has set us up to be what, man? To be rulers, man. I keep, you know, and that, and one thing as well in this truth is you learn to get into that ruling class mentality, because in the world, Esau oppresses you and puts you into a place of slave mentality, man.
That's right.
You know,
the easiest way, because I was going to say real quick on the first point, Proverbs 29:2, right? When the righteous and authority, the people rejoice. People ain't rejoicing. You know, right? So only one people can be righteous, and those are the children of Israel, because they were given the law, statutes, and commandments. And the second point, which go about a ruling class mentality, right? You'll notice it just simply in a thing of certain, what do you call it? You know, that's a topic very different. It's continuous.
well, it says just to blend back off what you said, Art. You said Proverbs 29:2. The second part says, when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Are not the people mourn upon the earth? Isn't there war and chaos? What does it say in Isaiah 2? You quoted it earlier. When the true Israelites are, the true Israelites, not them fake Jew rats over there, so-called Jew rats over there in Israel right now, masquerading, that bastard that's dwelling in Ashdod, right? Masquerading as the true Jews, as the Israelites. Okay, they're not the Israelites, man. Okay, when the true Israelites are ruling on the earth, pursuant to Isaiah 2, what's going to be happening, man? There ain't going to be no need for war, man. You know, what's the point of having war when you can, you know, obliterate someone in a second, man?
Yeah.
You know, when you're clearly outmatched, man.
Dr. Manhattan style. You know, when he kind of leans his head and he just destroys you.
You know,
you had Roach like, do it, and then just gone.
He even, you know.
Hey, what did Dr. Manhattan do to the tank?
Right.
He
restructured
it. Came out. He does something with his hands. Boom, and then it became a ball of iron, man.
Yeah.
Right. Which is
sorry.
Hey, which is why what you call it? There ain't gonna be no missiles, no weaponry in the kingdom, man.
Yeah.
Right.
And the Lord is going to give all that to Jake, man. Okay, all that understanding of the elements and the atomic structures and how to manipulate it correctly in righteousness, man. Not like how Esau splitting an atom, he doesn't know how to put things back together. When he took that tank apart, he knew how to put it back together as well, man.
Yeah, you don't know.
But hey, you know, that's what's gonna happen, man.
Yeah.
You know, if you can get that. Sorry, I'll get the last scripture. What was it? Daniel 4.
Daniel 4:17.
That's cool, man. Go on up.
Yeah, because you know, Daniel 4:17. You just grab that speaker.
All right, this is Daniel chapter 4, verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men.
That's right.
So right now, the Lord has set up the basis of men over us, over the earth, to what? To teach us a lesson, man. Okay? We're really understanding, you know, how bad things can go. So with that, we're yearning even more for righteousness, man. The ones that the Lord is dealing with, which is the elect of the nation of Israel, man. You know? So right now, man, this servant he's got a small season, okay? But just remember that Esau is ultimately just a servant, man. And all these nations are servants to Israel, man. We're the rulers of the earth, man. And that's why the earth right now is getting all fucked up, man. You know, but that's all gonna be. There's gonna be a new heavens and a new earth upon this earth, man. Where well dwelleth righteousness. And what does that mean? That doesn't mean that everything's gonna, you know, mess all up, man. But like the apostles were going into, I believe it was last week, everything's gonna be looking fresh and new, man. You know, we're still gonna be on the same earth, but things are gonna be renewed, man. Okay, things are gonna look, you know, greater and bigger and more marvelous, man. You know, because that's how the Lord ordained it, man. You know.
That's right.
Got any closing scriptures up?
Nah, that's it from me.
So I hope that's been edifying, man. You know, to the next lesson, man. You know, shalom, man.
Shalom.